Plesio charge you money. That is the third time I've used that joke, and I'll continue to do it for every Dino charge item I have left, of which there are 2. Yeah, this is a another Zord to Megazord deal. As you can see, this is one of the bigger Zords. Oh, they're all big, but this one, it probably has trouble fitting in the frame, as the it's in, but it's pushing the limits because is it a he or a she? I don't know. They've got a very long neck. This part's really long too. But like with all the videos, I will do my damnedest to make this work. Now, one thing I will say is that I remember, because I watched a Bulk Matrix video on this item, there's an obscene amount of yellow paint missing from this item. One that Plesio had a lot more of. So there's to my knowledge, there's quite a bit of paint missing. Hence the some of the blank white parts here, there, here, and on the arms too. The head's been painted up fine there, but we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, the Megazord comes with this charger, which is the Plesio charger. Again, like with all the other clear chargers, this is counted as the normal Plesio charger, and not as a different one. Pin combo, Plesiosaurus on the back. Now, again, for the ease of video, I'm just going to show you what the charger does in the Megazord by removing the Plesiosaurus head, because there's no way I can just pick this entire Zord up and just show you. Opening the mouth. Now, unlike the other Zords we've seen, this charger actually can fit all the way down its throat, because there's a barrel there, as you can see. Well, not really, because the light's failing me. I did charge the light up, by the way. Inserting the charger will bring up a set of cannons. Now, the reason why this is here, because originally this Zord had sounds, and this part was translucent, so you can see the charger in there. But they cut it out because of budget constraints. That's why this has a cannon and not a sound thing. Again, like with all the other chargers, you can just activate the gimmick yourself by moving this little switch down here and moving it back. But it's good that they kept up the charger features with the SuperCharge Megazords, because this guy is from Dino SuperCharge. Oh, I've forgotten. Almost forgot to show you the paint on the face. Yeah, they've done a very nice job of this paint. They've kept all the metallic silver. They've done the iron metallic green, which is different. They've also done the detailing on the iron black. So they've put some effort into that. There's a wheel on the bottom. I'm not sure if this was present on the Japanese version. I really don't know. I don't have that, and I don't plan on getting it. Right, and one more thing before we go to Megazord mode. These little feet here, these little bits, they're meant to attach onto the clips on here. But I tried that before filming and they didn't want to stay on. The chances are the clips are probably not tight enough, but I don't know, because you know what Bandai Namco quality can be like sometimes. These are missing a lot of yellow paint. There is no paint on these things, and there should be. They're just all white, which is it's a shame, really. They should have kept those details in, but they didn't. The wings are made of rubber though, or not like soft plastic at the very least. Right, to go into Megazord mode, we must first remove the Plesio head neck thing. There we go. And put this off to the side. And then we must split this in 2 parts. There we go. So this forms the legs. And now we must stand this entire guy up. I'm not going to alter the camera yet because we need to do something with these feet. Attach them to the bottom there's a hole and some pegs, and I was never really an expert at attaching these feet, because originally every time I tried to assemble this Megazord I would not include these parts. There we go, there are the feet. On the top we move these arm pieces down and move them out like this. Then we grab the Plesio neck headsing and attach it to one of the ports. There we go. And then we spin this entire guy around and have a look at the feet again. We need to pull out one of these fist pieces and then attach it onto the other port. Purple side facing, white side facing us. There we go. Now the thing about this Megazord is that you don't need any chargers to form this Megazord, because the arms you attach to it in its basic mode don't have any holes for chargers, meaning that it's the only Megazord you can form. Well, along the Titanium Charge Megazord, it's one of 2 Megazords you can form without any chargers. They do change this, because as you would have noticed, you can make it so you can remove this and use the other fist that's behind here for an additional form. Alternatively, you can indeed use the other Dino Charge Zords. And for the sake of this review, I'm going to be using the Stego and the Tricerazords and the Dino Charge Megazord. Stego Zord. Now, I don't think this was ever done in either Dino SuperCharge, sorry, not Dino Charge, or Zuden Sentai Kyoryuger, but you can do this if you want to. Doing this will open the way for Dino Charger compatibility. Honestly, pretty much this Megazord it doesn't really follow the rules in my opinion, because again, to form this Megazord there's no charger holes in the mouth. It kind of defeats the purpose of a snapping combination or a Kamitsuki Gatai by not having the Plesio arm chomp on in this way. It goes on the opposite way. So I think that is a bit of a missed opportunity there. Oh, almost used the wrong arm there. That is a bit of a missed opportunity, but you can use the additional Zords. Probably because of the amount of episodes in Kyoryuger, they did skip over this idea, because they could have had Plesio Western, Plesio Kung Fu, but they skipped over this. I think they did have a few additional arm changes just for this arm. They didn't go for both arms, so no combinations. I feel like if Kyoryuger had like 2 years worth of episodes, they would have done this, because they probably didn't, due to constraints and focusing on more on Kyoryuger and Pet Dino. And yeah, I know Plesio was introduced near to the end of the run of Kyoryuger. I think it was introduced on about episode 31, I think it was. And that's about the 3rd quarter, so I think. So they couldn't really do much with this, because they had to fit in Bakuretsu Kyoryugen somehow. Which, I mean, yeah, I understand. Anyway, we'll get onto that. We'll get onto Bakuretsu Kyoryugen in a bit. But to complete this transformation after my completely insignificant rambling, we just move this white piece up here on the face, and kaboom, we have Plesio Charge Megazord. Before we have a look at the overall design, we should have a look at what the face looks like, because the face is looking good. They've put some metallic gold on the face, they've painted the eyes in green. Not as many... Oh no, there is some black near the top. I think, again, they've done the face up well. They have done. I wish I could say the rest of the same for the rest of the Megazord, because while I like the design, because it gives me like a very I want to say like a Mega Ranger in space-esque vibe. It doesn't really, it lacks in paint, it does. It lacks in paint. This is where, because if you remember, the Dino Charge Megazord actually had a lot of paint. They did a very good job on that, in my opinion. But this one, no. There's a lot of yellow paint missing. I do not like that. I do like the fact how they do allow you to switch between the arms. So, I mean, that was a thing they could easily just have cut out and not included. I do like the fact they kept that detail. It was nice. They didn't have to include that, but they did include it. I'm also going to point out that, yeah, you can indeed use the two kinds of arms with the Dino Charge Megazord and the Terra Charge Megazord, so it works like Zord Builder, but the Zord Builder was present, this whole idea was present in the Sentai. So they kind of Zord Builderified a original Sentai idea, if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's move on to Bakuretsu Kyoryugen, or as it is known in Power Rangers, it's known as it's called Dino Charge Megazord. T-Rex. Actually, no. The names in Power Rangers are pretty vague. They don't call them anything like how the other Megazords normally call that Samurai Gigazord or RPM or Valve Max Megazord. It's not given any different name. It's just Dino Charge Megazord yada yada formation. It's not exactly different. So the creativity department kind of fell off a bit there. But yeah, I can see why they were going because of the whole snapping combination idea. I mean, that idea would have worked off more if they used it more. But again, 44 episodes isn't much wiggle room for that kind of interchangeability, especially when you're limited to 2 years. Again, that might be Kyoryugen's fault, I don't know. Anyway, right, Kamiski. Right, first thing we need to do, move the headpiece down and remove the entire head off the neck, at the top of the body, and yeah, it's very tight. You don't want to snap the clips, so if you have this Megazord, please don't try to do that. Not that anyone might, I'm not sure. Put that off to the side, and then we, just for the sake of easiness, we have to remove this because we will be reattaching it in the same place, just not right now. Then we remove this, same place. Is that right? I don't know. I've forgotten. We remove the arm. Pushing these pieces. No, we don't. We don't push in those pieces because we have to remove the feet. And then this entire thing can go off to the side. Now, again, apologies if I get this combination wrong. I haven't assembled this Megazord, nor have I looked at the instructions in a very long time. Probably because Dino Charge was the series where I think I got honestly a bit too invested in it. When I watched the show, I think when it was on, I was just getting into Super Sentai a bit more, because I think that's when I started to overstudy it a bit. Because again, if you've seen, well, maybe not, but if you've seen certain episodes of Dino Charge, there are a few elements where they just couldn't cut out details. In the episode of the Monster Game Face, I think it was, the Megazord has a bat, like a baseball bat, with the word Kyoryugen on it, being a reference to Super Sentai and not directly to Power Rangers. Two other monsters, those being Half-Bake and Hookbeard, they, I remember seeing Hookbeard, and Hookbeard in the show, I remember seeing him with a Japanese character on his leg. And I also remember reading about Half-Bake having another Japanese character. I think it was on his forehead, or is it body? I don't know. One of those two, I think it was. Or it's another leg, I don't know. So they had some Japanese elements relating to the Kyoryugen version and not directly to Power Rangers Dino Charge. So I was over-analysing that, and that would normally take a rewatch for me to figure that one out. But because I figured that out on a I just figured that out straight away. Admittedly, I did not see the Kyurager name on the bat straight away, but because I was just half asleep, I don't know. Right! I digress. Let's bring in the Dino Charge Megazord. And oh boy, this is going to be a bit difficult because, for starters, we need to remove these arms. Because if we don't do that, it might be a bit heavy, because what we've got to do is we've got to attach these rocket pieces to his feet. And I haven't done this before, I don't think, so this is going to be a new test for me. Should be attaching the same way with the clip and the hole. Oh yeah. We have a problem here. Just goes to show that I don't test these things before I start filming. It's not going in to the hole, it's not staying in, it's not clipping on. Oh, it is now. Oh, of course it's doing it now. These clips do not, yeah, they're not being kind to me today. They don't feel like they're in securely, they feel like they're going to come out, if you know what I mean. Then we have to move the camera up. I think we remove this yellow back part here, which is the dino tail. Remove the T-Rex helmet. Fold the helmet down. And spin this entire guy around to resemble more of a T-Rex. Now, this is where things get very bloody interesting, because last time I tried to assemble this Megazord, it didn't go down too well. We've got to move this guy off to the side, because we're going to have to alternate the positioning of the Plesio Charge Megazord now. And this is where things can get a bit difficult. Firstly, I think we've got to move these arms up like that. Then we've got to fold the legs all the way up so that they clip into these little pegs up here. Then we've got to position it like this, I believe. And what we've got to do now is we've got to open these wing parts here, and then there's some more connectors inside here that we've got to bring out. Now these are the normal snapping combination connectors, making this Megazord have 4 of them. And then we do the same on the other side. There we go. Now this is where things get very awkward. We've got this in this position now, and this is how it should be, I believe. Although I'm not sure if you're supposed to remove these arms or not. I'm not sure. You know what? I'm just going to have them face the sky. Why not? There we go. I'm positive it's not meant to be like that, but it looks a bit weird to connect with having 4 connectors and only using 2 of them. Actually, no, let's just remove them totally, because let's just remove them all together, because I don't like the aesthetic of having connectors and not using them. There we go. This is where things get very blimmin' difficult, because we bring back in the T-Rex Zord. We have to alternate the camera because this gets quite tall. Then we have to put this guy over the top. You see this little hole? That's where the Dino Charge Megazord head's meant to rest. And these clips are meant to go onto the clips on top. And the last time I tried this, it didn't stay on properly, but it seems to be fully secured now. That's lucky. Right, so just going to keep it in this position for now. I know the Tyro looks a bit odd with this front-facing thing. Now, I know for a fact you're supposed to attach the Plesio head to... Oh, that's tight. To the arm to the right arm. And I don't have the Pachycephalosaurus sword. You're meant to use that on the other arm, but I don't have that. Let's just use the Tricerazord instead because it works. There we go. Again, this combination was never done on the show. It's only done here because I don't have the correct sword. Hooray for whatever that's meant to be. I am positive I am seeing a little hole on the bottom of the Plesio. There's a hole here on the Plesio head, and I think that's where the helmet's meant to go, but I am not sure. Let's just do a quick test. I think I tried to insert it once and it didn't go in. Oh no, it is going in. Oh, it is where you meant to put it. Oh, I think. Yeah, it goes to show you how little I actually know about this sword line. There we go. And now for the head. This Megazord is officially too big. We have the Plesio Megazord head with the Plesio form facing us now. Turn it around, open it up. We have the new head. This head's I'd say it's accurately painted up. It feels like the red Dino foot symbol's missing some paint, but I think this is how it was on the Japanese version. The white's missing some paint, I believe, black at best, I think. And I think the face is missing some paint too, but details, small details. And there's a little peg on top of the Plesio Megazord that the head attaches to. And we have this massive guy. This is one of the things of all time. This thing is massive. Ignore the little McDonald's things on the desk there. This Megazord is huge. Do I approve of this design? Yeah, it's got massive shoulders. If these things are meant to be his shoulders, they are massive. It kind of looks like the Plesio Zord is kind of piggybacking on the Tyrannosaurus, which is kind of the point, I guess, but I'm not entirely sure. Again, I know this is my fault for not having the correct Zord, but this Triceratops arm isn't as big as the Plesio arm, and I know the Pachy arm is a lot bigger. It's about the same size, I believe, as the Plesio arm, but that argument is invalid because I don't have that sword. That's my fault. Yeah, I may have assembled this Megazord incorrectly, but I've done it to the best of my memory. This is apparently what I believe is the correct way to put this Megazord together. Yeah. There's a bit of wobble on top. At least you can do a funny dance. What the hell was that? Right. And that concludes this Megazord and its combinations. And the next video, of course, feature the big boy, the SuperCharge Megazord. He'll feature in the next video. Until then.